Genesis said, "Boo Kardashian, boo." Jordan said, "I don't understand what she has for prison reform." Herb said, "Awesome job. Thank you, Herb. I appreciate you, man. No haters in here. I don't care if you guys are liberal or conservative. We don't do the hater thing here. It's not really productive." So, okay, so Kim Kardashian met today to talk about prison reform with, I believe, Jared Kushner, and she met with the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, to talk about prison reform, especially this old grandma, this 60-something plus year old woman, whose name is Alice Marie Johnson, I believe her name is. Kim Kardashian's been very involved in this case for a while. She's a grandma who had a first-time drug offense. I guess even grandma has to watch who you surround yourself by, grandma. Just because you're an old woman doesn't mean you can hang out with the gangsters. But all jokes aside, I guess she got caught with the wrong crowd doing the wrong stuff and went to jail for life as a grandma. Jail for life over a first-time drug offense. Now, what exactly did she do? Like, how much drugs did she have? Who was she dealing with? I can't lie to you and tell you I know the full story. You could look it up yourself, but Kim Kardashian's very, very passionate about this and feels like this grandma shouldn't go to jail for life. And to be honest, I'm a big advocate, and I have been for a while, for drug offenders and first-time drug offenders, especially when it's like marijuana. I mean, I don't think people should be going to prison and being locked up, especially for life, for a first-time drug offense. So, I think that's a little bit harsh, but everybody has their own perspective. So Kim Kardashian's been on this case for years, and it's very important to note that Obama, on 3 separate occasions, had a chance to give Alice Marie Johnson clemency, and Barack Obama chose not to give her clemency. So Kim Kardashian, being the wife of Kanye West, who's boys buddy with Trump or whatever, decided to have a meeting at the White House. And this is a big deal for multiple reasons. First of all, I think it's going to be interesting if President Trump does grant her clemency, which I think is going to happen. It's going to be a whole narrative blow up, because it's like, oh my God, Trump did something for an African-American woman that, Barack Obama didn't do, and he's doing this stuff. But also, it's a huge deal for the media narrative, even more so than prison reform. I'm big on prison reform, but both sides of the equation, liberals and conservative Trump lovers and Trump haters, need to understand something. And I think both people are probably going to maybe conflict with me, but I don't want to paint everyone with a broad brush. There's people on both sides. Conservatives, if you're going to sit in my comment section, I'm just going to be honest, I love you, I appreciate you, but if you're going to sit in my comment section, I'm not saying all of you, but I already see multiple people doing it, like tens upon dozens of people. If you're going to complain about Kim Kardashian meeting with Donald Trump, I don't ever hear you again. I don't ever want to hear you say, "Oh, I wonder why the media doesn't like us. Anomaly. Why are we being censored, Anomaly? Oh, Anomaly, help me. Facebook took my... Anomaly, save me from Twitter and Mark Zuckerberg and YouTube and Google and the media. Anomaly, I don't want to hear it anymore if you're going to knock Kim Kardashian supporting Donald Trump, because it's ridiculously foolish. And to the liberals who say, who cares? Or to the liberals who say, don't meet with Donald Trump. How dare you meet with Donald Trump? Don't do it. How foolish could you be? Because there's one of two options. One, you meet with Donald Trump and you actually realize that he's the most open president in our history, where he's like, you're hired, you're fired, you're hired, you're fired. He might actually do what you say. More than any other president ever, he's actually listening and he's actually considering. So you're dumb if you want to, and I don't want to use the word dumb, that's not the right word, but if you want to push your agenda forward, then there's no better way to speak to someone. And if you really do dislike President Trump, what's more cowardly than sitting on Twitter and sitting in rap interviews and saying, oh, F Donald Trump, oh, I hate Donald Trump, and then refusing to talk to him in person? That's cowardly. If you really don't like Donald Trump and you have a lot to tell him, why don't you say it to his face? So there's really no reason to not meet with Donald Trump. If you don't like him, say it to his face. Say what you don't like to his face. Unless you just want to be that person who talks behind people's back, then be that person. But also, you can actually get what you want done. But conservatives and people who, and I'm not saying all conservatives, but there's a heavy portion of people, conservatives and Republicans, who are like, oh, who cares about Kim Kardashian? It doesn't matter. It's not important. What does she know? Don't complain when nobody likes you. No offense. Kim Kardashian is a media powerhouse. If you want the media, if you want Facebook and YouTube and Google and New York Times and Washington Post and MSNBC and CNN to stop putting your life in jeopardy, to stop hating you, and to stop saying all this negative stuff about you all the time and being biased towards you, that's what you complain about every day on my page, then why in the world would you reject, hate on, and talk down to the biggest media, self-media made conglomerate, the biggest social media powerhouse family in the entire world? That is such a huge asset to the Trump administration. That is such a huge asset to the conservative movement, even if he's not conservative. That is such a huge asset to you being censored, you being hated on, having literally the biggest influence in the social media realm. Go and have a meeting with the president. So why in the world would you dig your own grave and say, oh, who cares about her? And then you wonder why nobody likes you guys and everybody's mad at you and everybody wants to kick you off Facebook. I don't want to hear the complaints if you're that foolish to reject Kim Kardashian, because regardless of what you think about her, regardless of what you think about what she does and what she sells, and I'm the biggest critic of like, maybe we shouldn't sell kids makeup all the time, and maybe we shouldn't be like selling them all these terrible things. I'm the first one to say it. I'm never in my wildest dreams going to reject the biggest celebrity on the planet from supporting my ideals, from literally saying, hey, boys and girls, it's okay to have a meeting with President Trump. It's okay to be conservative. It's okay to like Republicans. It's okay to talk to Donald Trump. It's okay to, at bare minimum, humanize Donald Trump, because the hypocrisy of the left is they say, oh my goodness, Roseanne made a mean joke that everybody knows is really not that crazy. And then they at the same time try to literally tell you that Donald Trump is not a human. They try to say he's not a human. I don't even want to talk to him because he's below human. I mean, this is what they do. They're totally hypocrites. But you can't reject Kim Kardashian. Yes, prison reform is very, very important. Yes, I do believe that Kim Kardashian, albeit she might be an entertainer, if you want to call her that, a social media influence, I'm sure she has a lot of knowledge and wisdom on this topic. But yes, above that, the narrative is what's at stake here, folks. And I say it all the time. Yes, there's a political war going on. Yes, there's a religious war. Everybody wants to be right. My God's right. My God's right. Let's fight and kill each other over it. But there's also an information war going on. And the information war, in a lot of ways, controls the narrative of the religious war, the spiritual war, and the political war. So if you really want to win the future and win the kids and win, elections and stop everybody from, censoring you and silencing you and prosecuting you, then you need to start with the information war. And there's no better way than with Kim Kardashian. I'm sorry, I get it. Just like people don't like Donald Trump. It's like, oh, I didn't think Donald Trump was going to be the guy. But he is the guy. There he is. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know Dennis Rodman was going to be the ambassador to North Korea and be best friends with Kim Jong-un. But he is. Let's not hate on it. Okay, Dennis Rodman, he's a basketball player. Now he knows Kim Jong-un. That's cool. Kim Kardashian, she might have not been my spokesperson for prison reform and for uniting people and making kids realize it's okay to talk to President Trump. But she is, and she is that big of an influence. She reaches like billions upon billions of people every year. She's like a mega powerhouse. So just the illusion, or I would say the narrative of her having a meeting at the White House and having a meeting with President Trump is enormous and is such a victory for Trump supporters, conservative Republicans, free thinkers, anybody with half a brain that just is tired of the division and tired of like the hypocrisy and the delusion and the double standard, and people who are tired of, just the total like information, monopoly going on. And you don't even have to be concerned. It's a win. It's such a win for humanity. So I'm just being honest. I'm just being nice like I always do. I don't want to hear anybody that's commented now and says, oh, and I don't care about Kim Kardashian. She's just a celebrity. She's social media. I don't ever want to hear you again complain about that no one likes you or that you're being censored, because you're literally rejecting your own help. It's like a liberal delusion where they have Stockholm syndrome, where they're like in love with the master, and then they're forcing away people like Kanye West who are trying to tell them to free think, and they're refusing to meet with Donald Trump. It's not similar policy-wise, but ideology-wise, this hate is never a win. We don't hate here. I mean, sometimes we get mad, we get upset. I'm not saying you can't get angry, but if you're rejecting help, if you're rejecting help in the media and political world and the entertainment world, don't complain when Roseanne gets kicked off TV. Don't complain when you can't speak anymore. Don't complain when Tim Allen loses his show. Don't complain when no entertainments or conservatives or show anybody any love, because it's like the second that somebody shows you love and you reject it and hate on them. I mean, why do you think I'm not saying nobody likes you, but why do you think the entertainment industry is ridiculously liberal? It's because of actions like this. Why, in a large portion, how come, a lot of the black community tends to vote Democrat historically? I'm not, that's just honest. It's because the Democrats pander to them and say what they want people to hear. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but they make an effort, and honestly, that's a nice thing to do, is to be nice to people, kind and considerate. Just because you're honest and truthful, it doesn't mean you have to be rude and nasty to everybody, but they try, and historically, at least in the last 10 years, I'm not saying everybody, once again, I'm not saying, but a large portion of conservatives and Republicans, they just talk down to the black community. Instead of uplifting and explaining things in a polite manner, you talk down to them. You talk down to people who don't agree with you. You talk down to people who don't speak the language you want them to speak. You talk down to people who might speak in a different dialect than you or not have proper English, maybe because of schooling and education, maybe because they just don't care. Either way, we're not God. We're not a judge. Unless you're a judge, then that's your job. It's not our job to judge people. It's not our job. And someone said it's not true. Someone said you're right. I know I'm getting both. I know it's right. It's not everybody. I'm not saying it's every single person, but there's a large chunk of conservatives and Republicans that do that. And I'm just here trying to help you because I see what you're talking about. I see that your policies nowadays make more sense than a lot of Democrat policies, but you're never going to win if you get help from Kanye West and Kim Kardashian and you reject it. And I'm not saying that people are rejecting Kanye West, but a heavy percentage of conservatives and Republicans and Trump supporters are rejecting Kim Kardashian and are saying nasty things. Is it everyone? No, totally. Is it 50%? I'm not going to say that. Is it 25%? It might be. It might be 30%. It might be 40%. I don't know. I'm not Washington Post or Harvard. I don't poll 10 people and make up a fake poll. I'm just giving you an example. But I'm doing it because I love you and I'm keeping it real. If you reject Kim Kardashian and you reject her presence in the White House, don't ever expect to win the entertainment industry. Don't ever expect to win the youth. Don't ever expect to win social media. Don't ever expect to become popular, because it's never going to happen if literally the biggest superstar in the world, the biggest superstar on the planet, is trying to literally break the narrative and say, hey, boys and girls, hey, people, it's okay to talk to the president. It's okay to talk about prison reform to Donald Trump. It's okay to go to the White House and make a difference. She puts her life on the line and her career on the line to help you out and break the narrative. The least you could do is support her. The least you could do is say, oh, I'm glad that some celebrity, especially Kim Kardashian, she's no pushover. Okay, you might not like her, but she has so much influence, more influence than Donald Trump has. She has more influence than Kanye West probably even has. She has more influence than Jimmy Kimmel has. She has more influence than Roseanne has. She has one of the biggest influences on the planet, whether you like it or not, whether I like it or not. So you can't reject her help. But I'm getting passionate about this because I was just sickened to see so many people rejecting her normality of meeting with the president for these, oh, she's nothing, she's just a star, no one cares what she thinks. I mean, that's a fast track to censorship. That's a fast track to liberal takeover, or communist takeover in the name of liberalism. That's a fast track to losing social media. That's a fast track to never being popular. That's a fast track to never being socially acceptable. That's a fast one-way ticket to literally losing the media narrative. So I'm just keeping it as real as I can. Someone said, well, she's a witch and she's into demonic stuff. That's fine. Say that all you want, but never, ever complain. Never, ever complain to me again when you get censored. Please don't complain to me. Don't say, Anomaly, help me. Oh my goodness, why does no one like me? It's because every time somebody from the rap community or Kim Kardashian tries to support you, you say they're demonic. Anytime somebody keeps it real, they might say 9 things wrong or 7 things wrong, but then they say 3 things that are honest. Instead of embracing those 3 things and saying, hey, I see eye to eye to you, you reject all 10 and say, no, they're demonic, they're terrible. Oh my God, why does no one like me in the media? Because you act like that. I'm not saying that she's not or she is. I haven't studied her spirituality, but I could probably tell you she's not demonic. I mean, especially putting her lives on the line and putting her career on the line to literally make it humane to meet President Trump. And this is why it's not socially acceptable. And someone said to me today, I had a little interview, and they made a good point that I've also made. I'm doing it, for myself as well, and just for the culture, for everybody. But I'm doing the Trump side a major service. I get thousands of messages every week, and people say, dude, you're doing more than anybody because everyone listens to you, because you could speak to both sides, and you're not like Ann Coulter, and you're not like Tommy Lauren, where you're just preaching to the choir. So I'm helping you. You're welcome. I don't mean to be mean. I appreciate you, and I love you too. But I'm putting my career on the line to help you, and you rejecting this type of mentality. It doesn't matter if you agree with everything that they say, but this is how you lose. And honestly, President Trump is fortunate to have a lot of people doing stuff on social media, basically being a PR team for the things that he doesn't himself know how to explain to the crowd that doesn't like him. And he is responsible for that. When I speak, I understand that people are going to misinterpret it. I don't care about it. I don't censor myself to not tell the truth, but I think about how people might respond. President Trump doesn't do that. So yes, he is responsible for the people misinterpreting it, because he makes little effort to really reach out to that side. And that's fine. He doesn't have to. His job is to get the job done. That's why I support him. He gets it done. He says what he means, and he doesn't, bulge an inch. And that's fine. That's his prerogative. But this is why liberals win the media. This is why this exact action. I try to help you. I try to tell you the truth. I try to tell you wisdom and knowledge that Tommy Lauren won't tell you, that Ann Coulter won't tell you, that basically no conservative or Republican will tell you, because they're so stubborn, and you reject it and say she's demonic, or she's terrible, or she should get a job, or she shouldn't be in the White House. Then don't ever complain that you're not winning on social media. Of course you're not winning on social media, because you're rejecting Kim Kardashian. Of course you're not going to win on social media. If you reject Kim Kardashian when she puts out a hand to you, why would she like you? I mean, of course she's going to run back to the liberals, because they pander to her every move. Just like liberals try to pander to all the, women, we love you, community, we love you, we're the least racist. We know they're not, but they make an effort to explain it. So if your effort is, she's a demon, she should go get a job, don't complain ever again to me. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be mean. I'm just being real. Don't ever complain. Just walk around and understand you're never going to be popular. You're never going to be socially acceptable. You're going to be looked at as racist and sexist and xenophobic the rest of your life, even though we know you're not. You're going to be looked at as terrible. You're going to be looked at as a deplorable. You're going to lose on Facebook. You're going to lose on Twitter. You're going to lose on Instagram. You're going to lose on YouTube. You're going to lose. We're going to end up like South Africa or England, because you're too stubborn to realize and accept help when somebody of the stature, of the social stature of Kim Kardashian, puts her hand out and says, here, let me help you win where you can't win, and you slap her hand away. It's just absolutely foolish. It's absolutely insane to see so many people that do that. And I'm not saying that it's all conservatives. I'm not saying it's all Republicans. People said conservatives and Republicans are different. I'm just using labels that people use: conservatives, Republicans, free thinkers, Trump supporters, women, men, every gender and race, religion, everybody. I'm speaking to everybody. There is a large majority of people who support the president and people who want to be heard, and the silent majority who are rejecting it. So you appreciate and you love when I speak about the hypocrisy of liberals. Now is a hard time. I understand people might get upset, but we can't have this on the free thinking side. I'm not even talking about the Trump side, because this doesn't start and end with Trump. We can't have this type of mentality, or else we're going to end up in a police state. We're going to end up in a state where we don't control social media, and we get arrested for tweets because we're rejecting the number one biggest person on social media. So above her prison reform, first of all, I think it's great that she was there. I think it's great that she talked about prison reform. She has every right to, and she's, earned one way or another. I mean, she's done a lot of questionable things to get there, but she's there. She's looking to help you from being literally rejected by society and fired and shunned, and you can't reject that type of help unless you want to lose to liberals on every single front when it comes to entertainment and social media. And on the flip side, like I said to people who hate Trump all the time and want Kim Kardashian not to talk to Trump and Meek Mill not to talk to Trump and everybody not to talk to Trump, it's totally, absolutely, equally as foolish, because one, Either you can get your message across to Trump like Kim Kardashian, she should be applauded, not hated by the liberal side. You can either get your message across to Trump, which if you're paying attention, he actually listens. He's one of the most open-minded and open president, open-agended president we've ever had in modern history, so you should talk to him because he'll probably listen if you make sense. Trump's that kind of guy, but the problem is everyone hates and complains on the sidelines, but they don't make any sense. So of course he's not going to listen. Oh, F Trump. Oh, he didn't listen to you? Well, what knowledgeable thing did you say? You said F Trump on Twitter. Like, what is there to listen? It's like, yeah, you hate Trump, but what's your solution? Most people don't have a solution. They're just based off emotions and feelings. So either if you have a solution, go to the White House if you can, like Kim Kardashian, or if you really don't like President Trump, be a man or a woman and, say what you mean. If you really don't like Trump, tell him to his face. Say, I don't like you, President Trump. This is why I don't like you. And maybe you'll have a change of heart. Maybe you'll have a change of mind. And, maybe you'll leave and he'll leave being a better person. If you think you're a better person than Trump, go there and influence your energy. I'm reading some of the comments. I mean, I've gotten everything. I'm sorry to pick out a few. Those are just the ones I've seen. Someone said, anomaly, you don't have to get so upset. You're talking to intelligent people. I'm not trying to speak down to people. I'm not trying to really get upset. I'm getting a little intense and I'm getting a little into it, but it's because I'm so passionate about helping, okay? It's the same when I yell at people. I'm not mad. I love all liberals. I love all conservatives. I have love for everyone. I don't hate anyone, but I do get passionate when I speak about liberals and people love it. Now I'm getting passionate when I speak about conservatives. I get it. People don't like it because it might conflict with certain ideologies, but I'm doing it because I really like you and I don't want to see the United States end up in a police state. So to me, it's just insane. It's absolute ridiculous self-sabotage if you're going to reject the number one celebrity on the planet from normalizing the president, which is the exact opposite of what they want to do. And I just have to be real. I know I got intense. I know I got a little aggressive, but I'm being real. It's self-sabotage. It's like slicing off your hands and then wondering why you can't grab anything. It's like, well, because you just sliced off your hands. I don't want you to slice off your metaphorical hands. I want you to succeed and win and show the world you're a good person that's not racist and sexist and xenophobic. So if you reject a big help like Kim Kardashian, that's the reason. And I'm just being real. Why are no liberal? Why are there barely any conservative musicians? Why are there barely any conservative actors? Why are there barely any conservative entertainers? It's because society's molded it this way, but it's also because liberals are always reaching out their hand and saying, here, if you agree, come. And then, I'm not saying all people, but like maybe 25% or a larger percentage than people might not want to admit right now will reject people when they try to come to the conservative side because that's led liberals to be very popular in the entertainment industry, and it's led liberals to be very popular among kids because kids think that conservatives are mean, and sometimes the truth is mean. So I defend people when I feel like the truth is a little mean, but it's like, man, it hurts me, it hurts my feelings, and it hurts my personal stature in my life if you send that much bad energy towards Kim Kardashian for meeting with the president. This is so enormously huge. It's on the level of Kanye doing what he does. It's on the level of Roseanne before she got kicked off TV. It's on the level of Elon Musk talking about the media. It's the same thing. I know Elon Musk. I don't even know what he's doing half the time. I don't trust him 100%. I'm not going to leave my house with Elon Musk. Honestly, I might leave my house with Elon Musk because he's got so much money. He doesn't have to steal anything from me. But it's not that I agree with everything Elon Musk says or does, but if he tells the truth about the media, I'm not going to bring up all the horrible things that he's done or all the things I disagree with and ignore the good part. That's just not, that's a bad idea. Don't reject Elon Musk. Don't reject Kim Kardashian. Don't reject Kanye West. These are words of wisdom. I promise you, I will not lead you to the wrong place. I understand that Kim Kardashian, maybe is not the best role model. There's a lot of things that she's probably done and mistakes she's made and disagreements that we have. But overall, when it comes to the media and information, this is deeper than our feelings or even her, financial agenda. This is a major, major deal, and I appreciate your perspective too. You don't have to agree with me, and you can feel that way. But I'm telling you, it's kind of like don't complain to me the next time that something bad happens, because this is really getting important. And even with Roseanne getting off TV, they're trying to take Bill Maher off TV. I don't like Bill Maher. I find him incredibly just unwatchable. I find him super fake and pompous, but I don't want him to get kicked off TV. It's the same thing. I don't agree with a word he says, but it's a precedent. You're gone, you're gone, you're gone, you're gone, you're gone, you're gone. We're going to be next. We're not that far away, and Kim Kardashian has so much power and influence. Just don't sleep on it. That's all I'm saying. God bless you. God bless America. God bless Kim Kardashian, and God bless the world. I apologize if anybody's feelings got hurt or I spoke down or nasty at a certain point. That's not the intention. My intention is to be intense, passionate, and honest about, people hating so hard when someone's trying to help them. I don't like hate on either side, and it really hurts my soul when I see people that follow me and support me hating someone that's really trying to help us on a big, psychological scale. So God bless you. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to post my links below. Have a great day. Thank you guys for considering and listening.